State's biggest school districts head back to class tomorrow up the holiday weekend. And while it's an exciting time for students, it can also be a time for high anxiety for the 20% of American families affected by dyslexia. Author and mom Sasha Sedman writes about the challenges of dyslexia in childhood in a new book, and it's called Melonade. And Sasha joins us on this Monday morning. Sasha, nice to have you with us on the holiday weekend.
Thank you so much for having me here.
First off, for people who aren't familiar, what is dyslexia? Can you describe what the condition is and what portion of people deal with it?
Yeah, so about 1 in 5 people actually deal with it. And dyslexia is categorized as a learning disability that really affects language and a person's ability to read fluently and effectively. So for me specifically, I am a visual learner. So when people would try and read things to me or I would be reading things, I would really have a hard time understanding those things, like Sam in my book Melonade, switching the letters for lemon and melon.
Is that one of the reasons why you were compelled to write this, or what was the reason for writing about this particular subject? And then sort of describe the plot and focus of the book, too.
Yeah, Melonade really was inspired by my childhood. I specifically didn't make a Melonade stand, but I had a lot of problems switching words, flipping words, and just reading in general. I actually would memorize words and phrases to try and act like I knew how to read to avoid being just called out in class.
Yeah,
Melonade itself is about a little girl who switches the letters for lemonade and melonade and creates a Melonade stand. And she actually finds out that the difference in her Melonade stand from all of her other students was a superpower. And being different was actually a really great thing. And it's something that I think a lot of families with dyslexia can really attach to. And as a dyslexic person, seeing yourself on a bookshelf, I think can be a really powerful thing.
Absolutely. It's going to make a big difference in a lot of people's lives, I think. For parents or caregivers who have kids with dyslexia or other learning issues, what advice do you have as we sort of kick off this brand new school year this week?
I think having open conversations about your child's learning style is really important. And for me specifically, I used a lot of audiobooks and a lot of assisted technology like voice to text that really helped me stay up to date. And I really enjoyed books that way a lot more than I used to. And having the book in front of me while also listening to the audio versions, which are greatly available on YouTube for a lot of families, is a really great resource for families to really start off with.
We also have to mention that you have a very popular TikTok account. When people head to that page, what are they going to find there?
They're going to see my family very raw. I do my best to really show an unfiltered version of that. The TikTok really gained momentum actually when I myself experienced back-to-back miscarriages while my husband and I were trying to start our family. And I really used social media to connect with other women and other families out there who are going through the same thing, to not feel so alone and isolated. And really that can be said about any topic. So I've looked at so many videos relating to dyslexia and adoption, as I am an adoptee. And it's really nice to connect with other people who have been through those same things on social media and hear their stories.
I know that beyond dyslexia, you've spoken out on several issues impacting moms, open adoption, that sort of thing. What do you want people to know?
I want people to know that as an adoptee, as a dyslexic, as a mom who has rainbow babies after miscarriages, I am purely trying to speak from my personal perspective and the experiences I've been having while trying to do these topics justice. And I really want people not to feel so alone and to know that there are resources available to them and to advocate for those resources.
What an amazing story. And we have to say congratulations on your book. If people want to find it, where can they go?
Yeah, they can go to my website, sashasedman.com, and I do have a blog there as well. And then all of my social medias are under Sasha Sedman, including my TikTok, which is the _Kowalskis.
Lots of good content on there. Sasha, thank you so much. And again, congrats on the book.
Thank you so much. You guys have a great day.
You too. Thank you very much. We've added more information on Sasha Sedman's book now at KOMOnews.com/hotlinks. You can also reach it now by pointing your cell phone's camera at that QR code that you see popping up in the corner of